Seems like every Disney attraction these days has an overlay.
Seems like a controversial topic too, but even so, we have a few opinions on what should get an overlay.
Just don't hate us for our opinions. Welcome back to I2I, the place where we talk about anything and everything Disney. My name is Kyle.
And my name is Jessica, and before we get started with this video, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content.
And this is another edition of Disney Through Our Eyes, where we just tackle a Disney topic that's just on the minds of Disney fans right now. And this little bit of news has kind of been here for at least like a week or two or something, it feels like, since the inception of the movie Lightyear. We've already reviewed the movie, but after that was released, there was starting to be a rumor. I'm not even sure if it's an official report. Have you heard anything about it?
I haven't, but our friends on our trivia night did, and they're usually right.
They are typically very smart at these type of things. Yeah. Either way, the discussion is out there about the potential of yet another Disney IP, intellectual property, or just a theme, going over another non-themed attraction. When we say a non-themed, meaning it doesn't have already a Disney attraction.
So what he's referencing is that Space Mountain in Disneyland,
while I wore the shirt,
is getting a Buzz Lightyear overlay.
Or supposedly, or at least it's being discussed or things like that. And this is in reference to, if you've seen the movie, it's not really a spoiler, but there's a moment in there where a facility they're in kind of resembles the mountain a little bit, and they thought they could do the outside of it a little bit and probably change some of the scenes and stuff inside to make it more buzzy, if that's what you want to call it, Lightyear-y, to more beyondy, some things like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop that.
So
that's what prompted this.
Came up with the idea that we would think about other Disney attractions.
And we're going to do that, but I just want to ask your opinion first, because this is it's not even just about a specific attraction. We'll get to those in a second. What do you think of the topic or the idea of taking current attractions that don't have a theme of a Disney thing on it already and putting it on there? What do you think about that?
Obviously, I love it. I am the unpopular opinion that all of the rides should be based on movies, or that the movies are based on rides. I am a sucker for Pirates of the Caribbean.
But you know Pirates of the Caribbean was not based on anything first.
Was a ride based, and then the movies were based on the ride.
The movies were based on the ride, and then the movies influenced the ride again. So it's kind of like that reverse relationship.
So the ride came first, then came the movies.
Right.
So yeah, I knew that. Then Jungle Cruise, the ride, created Jungle Cruise, the movie.
Right.
So kind of the same thing. But then when you think about like Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it took over the Norway Pavilion. We don't have the normal.
That was a big controversy. I remember that back in the day.
Right. And I love it. I think it's perfect. It adds like this extra element that, oh, these people are Norwegian for these little kids. Like as adults, we would probably know that.
That's a fair point.
But children may not correlate those existing together.
That's a fair point. Here's where I'm at on this. I'd probably take more of the opposite side, but I'm not gung-ho about it.
I'm super unpopular.
No. I'm just saying, I'm not gung-ho about it. Like, for me, if it's done right and not just a Disney thing being slapped on something just for the sake of slapping something Disney on it, I'm okay with it. But I'm a nostalgia freak, though.
Okay, but think about our favorite parks.
Right.
Okay, so our favorite park together that we both love equally is Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. Our favorite parts of Hollywood Studios are obviously Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge.
Right. Because those are brand new things that have been brought there.
And Toy Story Land.
Brand new thing that's been brought there.
And what are those based on? Movies.
Yes, listen.
I don't know what an IP is.
Intellectual property, it essentially means a franchise or something like that.
I am basic. I don't know those important words. So just use
basic
terminology.
You're learning them today.
Okay, so IP things.
So for me, if it's done well, I think it's fine. I just don't want to. I think there is something. I think there is something to having an original concept, like Expedition Everest, for instance.
I love original concepts. I just think they need a Disney movie overlay.
On that? Well, okay.
Yes, think about Expedition Everest.
And what are you gonna? That was on my list here of things potentially that could have one. What are you gonna do with that one?
So
Frozen's taken.
Right. That's
you're gonna have Elsa, and we already fling the little, hair bands up there, which I saw an article about that today too, by the way.
That's ironic. But you could also do like, I don't know, some wintry movie. Aren't there like other winter movies or something?
I mean, there's the last one that I can think of was
the Brave Little Toaster.
The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. We saw.
No.
No, she said no.
Anyway, let's pick a different ride, and I've got options.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do here. So listen, this is not us saying it should happen, but we are saying let's just have fun. Let's have fun with it. That was on my list. Expedition Everest. I don't
have one for that.
Frankly, that's so much time and effort. How about this? Let's just fix the Yeti before we retheme it, please. Come on. Anyway,
I mean, could that break a few more times?
It's not. It hasn't broken multiple times. It's just broken one time, and they never fixed it.
And stayed broken.
And they do Disco Yeti now. Every time I go through there, I'm like, Disco Yeti. All right,
that's so annoying every time I ride it with you.
All right, I'm going to throw one out to you that is one that's been talked about a lot, and it makes sense, and I think everybody will agree with us and the idea. It's the first one on the list. Tomorrowland Speedway.
Cars.
I mean, what? Cars? That's the one you want to choose? No, okay, listen, that one makes that.
Yeah.
Okay, I now, yes, now it's clicked with me. I had my mind going somewhere completely different.
Where?
Well,
Talladega Nights, that is not Disney.
But that now that I've not overreacted to it, conceptually, it makes sense. But think about what Disney is especially pushing these days, and most big companies, being green, right? And do you like the smell of the gasoline over there? And
No,
the sound,
I hate that.
And the sound of it?
I hate it.
So how do we eliminate that? We make it electric. And so what's also going over near...
Can you just get to the point?
What's also going over near the Speedway that's about to open
Tron?
soon? Tron. It's very based on a video game. So let's take a video racing game that we find
Mario
in
Kart?
Wreck-It Ralph, Sugar Rush, and make it the Sugar Rush Racers. Remember, Penelope has her little cars that she drives around? So now you make them electric.
Okay.
You make it a little cooler because they've already taken away pieces of track there.
Okay.
But if they're not going to go
cool.
green, which I'm not advocating one way or the other, I mean, I guess cars is fine. but then everyone's going to fight over who gets to be Lightning McQueen.
No, because you don't get a choice. The little Disney character person that's 17 years old, the 17-year-old cast member is like, you, slot 2, you, slot 8.
Next time we're in a park, I'm going to yell out, hey, you, Disney character person, please help me out
I
here.
mean that in a loving way. I mean it like,
I'm just picking
I love
at you.
Disney character people. I just forgot the name.
I'm just picking at you.
Day.
All right, what's another one that you would like?
Well,
think about?
now I'm going to think mine is stupid.
No, it's not stupid. It wasn't stupid. I just thought we were thinking the exact same thing for Tomorrowland Speedway. We were not. But that's why.
We never think the same thing. So, okay, here's a great test. Here's my one thing that I came up with. The regular carousel.
Okay,
the iconic, nobody would ever change it, but the regular carousel.
It's already themed to Prince Charming, technically.
Nobody cares about Prince Charming.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to allow this one because how do you tell it's Prince Charming?
Right, and how do you know it's themed? I thought it was the Sword and the Stone because you got the
Sword and the Stone's
right in front of it.
So what are you going to do with it?
No, I'm asking you. What do you think I'm going to say?
Well, see, I don't know because I hadn't really thought about that one. Are you going to say Sword and the Stone?
Nope. Mary Poppins. Because remember, in the Mary Poppins movie, the scene where they're on the carousel.
I love it.
The carousel actually becomes like they ride
and now they're
off.
Actually going to let us bounce off the track, and then it's going to get crazy.
Was extreme. I was just thinking like they do paintings of Mary Poppins and everybody. But
if it didn't, the name theme fits so well with that area because it's right by the castle, Cinderella's
castle. I
castle.
didn't even know it had a theme, like a name theme.
Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, I believe, is its full name.
Okay, well, I've been to Disney every single year for the last decade, and I didn't know that.
We did it finally for the first time in several years.
I think the first time. That's the first time I've ever done it.
It was literally like a walk on at the end of the night, and it was actually. I mean, I enjoyed it just for the 5 minutes that it.
But I'm not waiting on.
Oh no, you don't wait
unless you have kids.
Unless you have a kid, yeah, obviously. Okay, that's not a attraction I was expecting you to pick, or one that I was expecting you to put to it.
I'm glad I could.
That was a pleasant surprise.
Well, thank you.
All right, here's one. Carousel Progress.
Okay.
So
I did think about this.
You got one for this?
No.
Okay.
I thought about it.
I don't like this movie, which is gonna make me the enemy of the people here right now.
I'm so confused.
Meet the Robinsons.
I've never seen
do not like that movie. It's the first time I've walked out of a movie and like I've wasted my money, but I understand the intrinsic value of it, and it's supposed to be representing. What word is that? Walt and his dreaming, that kind of thing. It's a homage to Walt. I understand. It's just my opinion. But with that, it was about a young boy inventor And with it going through the ages and stuff like that, it'd be cool to have the characters of that somehow pop into there. Although it is one of the last few things that is like Walt's had his hands on, not that specific one, but that would be really cool to maybe if you had to, there was a, you know, what's the word for it? An edict?
Hard stop?
A demand of the company to put theming on everything. That's what I would put there. First thing that comes to mind. Anything you can think of on that one, or just
not on Carousel Progress?
What you got? What else?
I got one for Rock and Roller Coaster.
I threw that on there because I feel like you would.
So I feel like it's kind of I'm not allowed to change it because my family, both of my sister-in-laws, love this so much.
Right.
But okay, hear me out. You remember? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Zootopia. Because, okay, remember when, I'm blanking on her name. What's the main bunny's name?
Judy Hopps.
Judy, thank you. Remember when Judy goes to...
This is why she doesn't do good at trivia nights.
This is also why I don't do good in life. But remember when Judy goes to like police school or whatever, and she's like making it big in the big city, and she's on the big bullet train, and it's like, going to her new life.
One more time, how is it?
Going to her new life. So instead of the 3, 2, 1 Rock and Roller Coaster, it's a video of her parents saying, "Goodbye, Judy," and all of her little siblings, the bunny siblings. And so then they say goodbye, and boom, you are shot off into the night. Stop.
I like the creativity.
Stop. As you're watching little snippets of her life, like she becomes a cop, and then she does all these good things, and then you get to the song. The Shakira song.
At the end. Okay, the Shakira song fits at the end because they have that big music playing at the end of Rock and Roll.
Exactly! It is like
now, how does that fit in with the theme of the area?
I don't care about the area.
That's what you got to think about,
So, okay, Hollywood Studios. It's in Hollywood. Obviously, Zootopia is a movie. So, the only things we would change were obviously the big guitar out at the front. We would change that to a bunny house. I don't know where bunnies live in. Bunny hut? Bunny tree?
There was potential there. I think it went off the rails a little bit.
If you hadn't asked questions, I was fine.
This is what I do.
And it's annoying. If you would just let me, the inside of the ride is fine. And as you're walking through, you're meeting all the different characters. And then when the ride really slows down, that little sloth gets on the speaker and is like, "There has been a delay."
That was creative.
Okay, thank you.
Let me take what you said, and this is something that's been either hinted at or confirmed that has been talked about. There's been rumors about it for a long time, about making another land and keeping Sunset Boulevard the same with Tower of Terror, but making a road and a land back there for Pixar-themed things, and you would make it Monsters, Inc., the room filled with all of the doors, and they kind of look like they're on the roller coaster.
Zootopia is way better, even though I forgot Judy's name.
If the theming somehow matched what was already there...
Stop trying to make it match what's already there. That's not fair. You tried to destroy Carousel of Progress. So no, it doesn't need to match the theming. On the two things that I've come up with, you've ruined.
No, Mary Poppins was great.
No, because you said, well, it doesn't really match the land.
But it was better than that's whole Fantasyland. Everything's in there basically.
I don't like doing this with you.
Okay, well, let's do one more. Okay.
Okay, you do one more.
You have inspired me though. I'm not even going off the list that I have here.
Good.
Zootopia.
What?
With Zootopia, if they make that train ride from Africa, as opposed to the station being in Africa, the train ride to a Zootopia land out there instead of the creature comfort station.
No, you can't steal my idea.
I'm not stealing the idea. It's just a train ride.
Zootopia.
You did a roller coaster. I did a train ride.
No, that's just wrong.
Okay, here's one that I can't.
If you're gonna do a train ride, it has to be Harry Potter.
But here's one that I can't come up. I'm gonna ignore you on that one. I don't even invoke that name here.
He hates Harry Potter.
Last thing. Thunder Mountain. I can't think of a single thing that's worthwhile throwing on it. Like, honestly.
Are there any movies
if
set
Five
in Wild
Goes
West?
West was Disney, then sure. The best thing was The Lone Ranger, and that bombed. So I think Thunder Mountain is just always going to be Thunder Mountain, and the theming that's already there.
Yeah, why would you pick that if you don't even have a theme?
I don't know. That's I just threw things up there on the list that were like, hey, they don't have a theme. There's plenty more that we haven't gone through here. I just threw some up on a list for us to talk about. What we want to know from y'all, though, some of the things that we talked about here, if you've got opinions about them, things that if you had to pick an overlay for them, what would you do? Let us know there in the comments section below. Again, it's just for fun. Nobody get angry at anybody.
Don't get angry that Kyle doesn't like Harry Potter because we all like different things.
Harry Potter is stupid. I said it. Anyway, thank you for being here. What else should they do for the head out?
Like I said before, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on those notification bells so you don't miss any of our content.
That's it for this edition of Disney Through Our Eyes. Until we assemble again.
May the Force be with you.
And we'll see you real soon.
Bye, guys.